Hello, Taurus, and welcome back to your extended. So, uh, let's see where to start. All right, so remember how we were talking about how you're quickly learning that looking at the practical, like the practical details of your life, and breaking them down into the basic building blocks of what you find to be significant for your relationships. I want to say they're relationships, or just the things that you deem to be, or that you characterize as wish fulfilling for you, as fulfillment for you, as something that holds a lot of emotional impact for you. So as you as you kind of stop looking at all the practical details of what would make you essentially like happy, what would make you happy, trying to kind of quantify. Is it quantify? Yeah, I guess it's quantify. Like put all of that stuff into words. It's like it's kind of like referring to like putting words on the things that actually can't be really characterized by words. It's like it's beyond being able to like be spoken, essentially. It's like there's not really language for what you're looking for, and you're also trying to find that within like the practical manifested things that present themselves to you literally on the surface of your manifestation. That's coming through as like walls, but that could literally be like the like the screen. I don't know how else to explain this, but it's like the screen of your manifested world. So the things that are presenting themselves to you on the screen, right, of your manifested world, looking at that and trying to find the basic building blocks of what you want to use. It's like using the Matrix's screen to help like build your future. It's like once you decide to stop looking at that, to stop looking at your reality as, that's very interesting, to stop looking at your reality like it's actually like it's real. It's like this other world opens up for you. It's like that's that point where you are shifting your gaze from the practical world to, it's coming through as like to the stars, or something that is otherworldly. It's beyond the practical world. Once this approach is taken, it's like I'm just seeing you kind of it's like you're relaxing in the feeling of knowing. It's really coming through as like the feeling of knowing that none of this really matters. Like all of this practical stuff, like the practical things that you need to do with your life. So it's very much like trying to think of examples that would help with this, like paying bills, getting the kids to school on time, just all of the kind of the routine stuff that we're supposed to, I guess, quote unquote, supposed to like do in our lives. That's what this is. It's like you're relaxing and knowing that ultimately, like, none of this stuff really matters. And it's in that there's a moment here where you're kind of just bathing in this revelry of like I don't care type of thing, And it's gorgeous, actually. It's actually very rejuvenating for you. You're rejuvenating in being with yourself and being. It's like you're realizing that your spirit is. There's no sense of worry here. There's also no sense of time here either, because this had a lot of time incorporated into it, like looking to the past, trying to figure out what you want to build for the future, because you want to inform your present from your past so that you can build your future, but then you ultimately end up building your past and your future with that type of mindset. And so once you've let all of that go, there's this, it's like this beautiful coming into yourself in a way that you haven't yet done before, because it's like you're looking at that wall, and then suddenly, you're also kind of simultaneously realizing it's like all the wisdom that you've gained from that. You've been taught. I want to say this is like a spirit guide that has taught you this, and somewhere along the line, it's like you forgot to do this. You forgot that this process is a significant one that would help to actually move you into your future. And so it's like, and they are there too. You've got your white owl. This is definitely coming through as something that is. I mean, it's beyond. It's presenting itself as like extraterrestrial, right? So you're sitting in this place. You are just bathing in the joy of. Well, actually, it's like this is the water realm. So what I'm seeing here, it's like you're bathing in the cosmic waters, essentially. And there's a sudden opening with this magician card here that's showing up as the first card in the second half of your reading. It's like I'm seeing this space here as it's like an opening that's happening where when you're gazing into the water. So when you look to the stars and you bathe in the cosmic waters and you gaze into. That's very interesting. It's like you're gazing, because the water is a reflective surface, right? So it's like you're gazing into the water and you're seeing your own reflection, and in doing so, it's like there's an opening that is happening, and I'm seeing you like going into that opening. And this is you kind of like emerging on the other side of that opening. You see how it's like he's slowly coming through this. It very much looks like a portal. It's like you're moving through a portal. And you are with the Eight of Wands. It's like everything about you is like being broken apart into all of these like different pieces. Like I'm seeing it as if you were to go through a portal. It's like all of your basic components, all of the we were talking about building blocks and basic components. It's like all of your basic components are breaking up and like flowing through this like vortex of a portal. And it's like you're going down. Okay, hang on a second. It's like you're being broken apart, and like pushed, not pushed, but you're finding yourself going through this portal. You're, what do they call that? It's like you're phasing, like the fate, like the fate. I don't know. But I'm also seeing it as like it's like these are like beings. It could be, it very well could be, it's giving me a message of like your oversoul, like incarnating into different beings all over the earth. Like that's what that also looks like to me. So it, it's coming through as like a realization that you are one of these beings, but then also realizing that you are all of them at the same time. I hope that makes sense. And that's what this name is. The name is, it's like your true name is the name of your oversoul. That name that you've forgotten, that's what this is your, that's fascinating. And in this process of where it's kind of giving, it's like a message of like going through the eye of the needle. It's like you've been broken apart into all of your basic components, all the components that are actually you, and not all of these practical things. And that's when you find the name that I guess is, I mean, it's showing up as like that's the name of your oversoul. And when you have that name, that's that part where it's like you can bring, oh my god, this is so amazing. That's the part where it's like you can bring that, the energy of that oversoul, and anchor it. Oh my god, and you can anchor it into your reality, into, well, that's what you're trying to do. You're focused on your future and wanting to build something new for yourself, and it's like your oversoul is wanting to be anchored into this reality. And it's like, that's okay. So I'm seeing you, so as you're like phasing through this portal, you're phasing through this portal, and what I'm seeing is it's like you're coming into a place that is being characterized as like the it's like the upside down, something like that, something like the upside down, because I'm seeing you come, you're upright, you're coming through, but then when you come through there's a space in which you have to reorient yourself, because the place that you're going into is almost, it's a reverse. It's giving me like an above below. It's like a reversed image of where you are. There's this movie, I can't remember what the movie is, but there's a scene, oh my god, there's actually a scene where she's like looking in the water, and they step through the water. It's like a giant, or she's like with a giant or something. Is that My Big Friendly Giant? I can't remember what it is, but there's a scene where she's actually like, she goes into the water and everything is upside down. It's a different world. And so when you get into that place, there's a reorientation or a recalibration to your energy, to, it's like when you come into this remembrance, there's an orientation, which is an introduction, which is where you would introduce your name. So it's in that place where you're receiving this orientation of perhaps of the truth of who you are, and also receiving like your true name. It's very interesting because, of course, I am a Taurus myself, And I don't know if I mentioned this in the first half of the reading, but I actually like moved into a different room. I usually do my readings in the other living room. And it's like today I just decided to come in. I actually decided to come back into my personal space, and everything in here is, it's like I have to set the camera up opposite. So everything is like in the opposite direction, and that's what this is coming through as. It's like when you find yourself in that place, there's there's a little bit of adjustment of like you need to reorient yourself, like put your feet on the ground and just, okay, here we are. We're here now. And it's like letting yourself down off of this, uh, out of this hangman position. It's like just taking a look around and then being like, okay, and then dropping down into this new place. And you're fully illuminated. You're fully illuminated as to who you are, what you're doing, what your name is, your oversoul, all of the other beings that are a part of your oversoul, realizing that you are a part and also of the whole. And it's like that is like what's gonna blow. It's like your perception, your perception is being blown open. Like you are, it's like a mind blowing moment for you. And all of this, I was kind of, we were talking about how in your framework there's like a divine timing to this, but all of this is being, it's like it's being orchestrated with the Wheel of Fortune. So all of it is being orchestrated, and it's coming through as like it's time. It's time now. This is the right time for you to, ooh, this is gorgeous. I'm loving how there's this, I don't know if you can see this. I'm seeing this extension. Like there's a wave. It's like a is bringing me to like mathematics and calculus and the sine wave is like this. I don't know why that is. It's like it's all of it is, it's a very calculated process that you're going through. So you're mind blown, and it's like everything is, I guess it's almost in a sense like, know that you are, this can be very disorienting. That's why you're having to reorient yourself. So, in a sense, there's kind of like everything's going to be okay because all of this has been divinely orchestrated. So take comfort, I guess, in a sense, and it's like take comfort in that this process of reorienting yourself is, it's going to, it's going to happen. It's like if you feel like, I mean, this right here being broken up into a million different little pieces, if you feel, this can kind of be really, this can be a little stressful, like going through a portal in a sense. That can be very disorienting, stressful. There can be a lot of side effects, like you might feel like you might be like losing your mind or all of that. There's that is not happening. So take comfort in knowing that like all of this is it's divinely orchestrated. It's time for you to come into illumination to your true essence. You're not losing your mind. You're not losing touch with reality either. It's just that your ability, your everything, it's more along the lines of that things are opening up for you. Your perception is opening up. Your ability to like see more of you is opening up. There's nothing that is there's nothing really being like, reality isn't being stripped from you. It's just your ability to see so much more with the light is coming in. It's like I'm seeing you here on this like outcrop, and there's all of this light. Your ability to see so much more, it's like a blinding light. That blinding light is maybe perhaps what is scaring you. If you're getting scared in this process, I don't think you're getting scared. It's just the shock of it all. It's like a blinding light, and then there's a reorientation. It's like your eyes have to adjust. Your eyes have to adjust to this light. And that's what's happening here in the Hangman. So it's like, okay, this is beautiful. It's like, so before, remember how it's like it's coming in stages. So the first part of it was putting down all of the practical things that are holding you in this reality. Really rejoicing and loving this place that you've found that is very soothing. It's like taking away all the cares of the world, okay? And then suddenly this opens up, you see your own reflection, you then get sucked into this portal, right? And then you have to go through this reorientation process, and then you end up in this beautiful light. Your eyes become readjusted, and it's like you've emerged into, well, it's a new place. You've emerged into another world. I mean, we're talking about like, I'm very careful to say like if this is okay. So when this card first came out, I didn't mention in the first half of the reading, of course I was talking about extraterrestrials and stuff, but like it actually made me think of Close Encounters of the Fourth Kind. And if you know what the fourth kind is, it kind of talks about this process, like a process of leaving where you are and finding yourself in a new world. So perhaps maybe this is what that's talking about. It's like there's an illumination to you finding that you're in a new world, you're in a new space. It's almost like you're in the upside down, which is interesting because it seems like, you might characterize the upside down as like a false reality, but what is presenting here is that the place where you are, or at least where you were, was actually the false reality. That place was the upside down, and you're coming into the place that's right side up. But because you've been experiencing the upside down, it's like you're cognitively, you're kind of like, wait, no, that's not actually what it's like. That's the reorientation process. It's like remembering that you were in the upside down. Oh my God, I hope that this is making sense. It seems very like paradoxical, but the place where you are, or this place here, is, it's like it's the upside down, and then the place where you're going, even though you might experience it initially as it being the upside down, it's actually the right side up. And all of that is going to come into view. All of it is going to come into view. And what I'm loving here is that, you showed up initially here as being in the Magician. You're like emerging out of this portal. And then what I'm seeing here is like you've reoriented yourself And now I often see this world card as like a birth canal. It's like now you're being birthed in the true, it's coming through as like the true world. The world of light is so bizarre and fascinating. It's like you were actually in the dark world and now you're coming into the light world. Okay. Very fascinating, Taurus. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your energies. And I will see you next time. Bye.